Hello, my most amazing ceramics club. I'm so sorry that I am not here today to get this project started with you, but I know that you are super responsible and that you are going to rock this. So what we're going to do for today to start, we're actually going to start with our pinch pots for our geodes. What you're going to do is you'll get a piece of clay, and these pieces of clay are pretty big. It's about 1/2 pound of clay. So if you are having trouble with molding it, don't be afraid to tear some off and you can just hold on to that piece of clay. So I'll probably be out of the frame for this. How you start a pinch pot is you want to roll it into a ball. This one, that's too good of an example. It's pretty perfect. This one is probably more like what you're going to get. So whenever you're rolling it into the ball, I actually just toss it back and forth in my hands. When you're doing this, you're going to notice that the clay has a different texture than it did last year. I've actually got a different type of clay for you to use for this ceramics club, and for the rest of the year I actually bought a different type of clay this year that is going to dry by itself instead of having to go into the kiln, so that we get our projects back a lot faster. So whenever you are doing this, you're throwing it back and forth between your hands, and then you can start rolling it as soon as it becomes easy. What I like to do is I like to look for a crack that's already created. And so this has a crack right here. I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to push it in there. It's called a pinch pot because you're pinching your fingers going around and around. So I push down with my thumb and push out so that it gets wider and wider. I gave you a big chunk of clay so that you could make a pretty big one if you wanted to make a pretty big one. So I'm just working my way around, pinching. But the problem is I don't want the walls to get too thin. That's why I'm pushing down whenever I'm also going around, pushing down and working my way around. So I'm going to keep doing this, keep pushing and pushing, and I'm supporting it with the bottom of my hand too. Okay, so this is what mine looks like right now. So geodes can be all different shapes and sizes. So if you want to, you can like smush yours a little bit. It'll be kind of hard to get the rock salt in there whenever we do that next week, but you can smush it. You can make it a cool shape if you want to, or you can leave it thin. Any lines that are inside of your clay are gonna stay there. So you might wanna smooth them out with your finger very gently. However, unfortunately today we don't have all that much time just because of recess and getting back to the gym in order to go home. So whenever you get it done to a place that you like it, perfect. For me, I like it. It's cool. Whenever you're walking with it too, it is going to get a little smush. So whenever you put it in the turn-in bin, then you might have to fix it. You also might have to fix it after you do this, but it's crucial that on the bottom you put your name and your teacher code. Even though we're ceramics club, I still need to know that code. So you're going to try to find a sharp-ish pencil. This one will work. And you're going to put your name in the back by pushing down into it. Try to space it out if you can so that I can see it. And it needs to go all the way in. If you're just barely scratching the surface, it's not going to stay whenever you put it down into the Turn-It-In bin. And I'm gonna put 5C as mine. So I've got a teacher code on the bottom. So I'm gonna take this now and I would go turn it into the Turn-It-In box, which is gonna look something like this. So you'll put it in there and then it will dry before you come back to Ceramics Club in 2 weeks, and we'll be able to move on from there with adding the salt to our geode. And after we add the salt, we get to start on our choice-based project. So this is gonna last us the whole time because there's so many steps to it. So next week you'll start with the salt and maybe paint the outside, but wait to paint on the inside. We'll see if we have enough time to paint next week or in 2 weeks next time. So yeah, that is how you make a pinch pot. If you do mess up, you can squish it and try again. You might have to add just a smidget of water to it if it starts to dry out too much. With the sink, there's something wrong with it and it's been kind of clogging back up. So instead, you're gonna get a wipe at the end of class so that you can wipe your hands before you go back to the gym. Your ceramics club, and I saw you walk the last time that we were here together, and you were amazing. So I wanted you to continue that leadership whenever you were walking down the hallway back to the gym, and just have fun, have a great time. I can't wait to hear how it went. See ya next week.